It distorts that illusion to the point where an entity cannot consciously develop naturally, and it violates the prime directive and breaks the laws of creation. So that is important to know. Also, one thing I wanted to touch on also is chemtrails. There are theories that there is a shadow government spraying the air down with chemicals, and in these chemicals, and sometimes, there are nanobots, little tiny robots that you breathe in, and then the government can, with electromagnetic waves, use telepathic technologies to influence the thoughts and actions of the masses, or anyone or any entity that breathes these nanobots in. I for one agree with what's going on, due to the fact that I've done several experiments in regards to chemtrails and the effects of consciousness that I have not written down because my privacy is being invaded. But that is, I do believe this to be true. And also, as far as the experiments go, that's one reason why I believe it. Another reason why I believe it is because I've been a lineman for the IBW I was working for 13 years, and I believe to have built many of the structures where they set the antennas to do this. So I do have insight on that as well. And it's just basically, we're to the point where there's no one to talk to about this. There's no one to tell. And people do not feel empowered enough so that they can do anything about it. So, and this is this is a good example of the importance of taking responsibility for your actions, and the fact that when it comes to interdimensional evolution, ignorance is no defense when you're attempting to evolve through the dimensions. Now, at first, I did not know why I was building these structures and setting these poles. I just knew that I had a set of blueprints, I had a job to do, and I went out and did it. And it wasn't until after I woke up where I was able to look back on my experience and say, oh, okay, that's what I was building there. But the effects of the results from doing my job right by the book, asking no questions, and just doing what I was told, is that I built structures that empowered somebody to perform mind control on the entire community that I was living in. So, and basically, due to the fact that I set these poles and mind control is being, I enabled dark forces to perform mind control on the masses, produces negative karmic effects that it's not right in your face. You can't really see it. You have to look at a very, very large scope of things and a very large picture in order to see that. But if people are under the influence of mind control, they're not going to be developing like they're supposed to. And the fact of the matter is, when you go and evolve through up the different dimensions, when you go to the gatekeepers at the next gate up, and they say, well, you helped build a structure that that was a very bad thing for the human race. At that point, I'm not going to have a piece of paper to tap on and say, well, I was told to do it. Well, it wasn't the right thing to do, but I didn't have enough information at the time. No one gives the human race enough information to make the proper decisions in regards to everyday actions and your job. Basically, and just to drive this negative karma, because what I'm trying to do is make people aware that negative karma is true and is real. I drew this little picture here. So you got two people standing there. You're both in a Vinci Sphere, And when you look at the next guy and this guy looks at this guy, basically what's happening here is this guy is a reflection of this guy's consciousness, and that's just being projected off of your sphere, the other guy. And this guy is a projection of his consciousness, and that's being projected off of his sphere. So when you hurt someone else, basically you're hurting yourself. That's one way to look at it. I mean, and there's a lot of ways to look at it. I'm just trying to take some very complex information and simplify it in the form of an easy picture. But basically, you're surrounded by a sphere that looks, and it's like a mirror, and everything your heart is projecting this image onto the sphere, and then you're looking at it with your eyes, and that's the true nature of this reality. And you can see that, you know, from that example, if you hurt someone else, you're just hurting yourself, because all is one. So that's that. Okay. Okay, and as far as the importance of respecting privacy, I have an awareness that the NSA is doing a television show on me. And ultimately, that is not the right thing to do. They do not have a right to do what they're doing.